James and no one else.
Nunn's had a haircut for the grand final.
Spearman's got iodine on his elbows. He'll be right.
Where is Todd? Oh, there he is. Coleman. R.Dykes.
Here we go. Here's Miss Tasmania in the blue.
Carolyn, out she comes. What she looks like?
Looking simply superb.
Really?
Actually, the chap that's with
David
her,
Smith, that is.
David Smith's left hand has disappeared. Let's try and pick it up.
No, that's Prosper.
That's Prosper. That's not David Smith.
Certainly.
Here we are.
Oh, you nearly had it. No, that's Bushead.
Bushead. Lockley, Mansfield. Balcom, Pearce. Let's
Suckling
you
in
can
the
perhaps try and pick up any move.
Suckling is in the Peter. He's in the long
Yeah,
sleeve
Suckling.
jersey too.
Suckling, yeah.
Let's just watch.
Nick Clark comes over and he's bombed Miss Tasmania.
She's asking
She's
some
put the hard word on.
Yeah.
She said yes,
Oh,
goes.
cost you 50 cents, it will.
Toss one
Glenorchy.
by Glenorchy.
You just keep quiet. Sit down.
Come on, the pies.
There we go. There's a Cascade critic.
Looking good. The big tea cosy business.
The Cascade critic.
Which way's the wind blowing? Check the snorkel. Pointing to the left. That'd be warm, that wouldn't it?
What, metal?
Look. Just taking a deep breath. Oh, 15.
15th out.
16,224.
There was another one. There's she's a blue. She's a blue lady.
Belcom on the bench with Coleman.
No, Mansfield.
No, Mansfield. I'm sorry, 54.
On the bench is Lewis and Price.
Belcom on the bench. That surprises me.
So
And where's Shaw going to start?
On the ball.
with boxing gloves.
He is too, in the middle.
Yep.
So you keep an eye out for the ducks.
Yep.
You've only got 2 eyes.
There's the Winfield League football.
Centre half forward, short.
And he's
Curly.
shaking. Come on, Roland. Hook him. In your competition now, Peter, is there ever any best or?
Oh, yeah, always.
But here?
Oh, here there would be too. They'll shake hands.
Well, shake hands or a word.
Oh, the
Seen
best,
anyone
yeah.
shake hands yet?
Yeah,
No, Michael Wheare,
Oh,
centre
yeah.
half forward
Adam.
now.
look, here we
Shaw
go.
on the ball.
Spearman and Smithy.
Shaw into the centre, on the ball.
Look,
Yeah.
Kremerskothen doesn't know what's going on. Oh, Bowden's coming over. Clarence really got the look. They got half forwards up
Yeah.
on the wing.
Revolt's going to centre half forward.
centre
now.
half forward.
Revolt.
P.Riewoldt, centre half forward.
Revolt.
Peter Revolt.
Chris
Here we go.
Back pocket race.
ABC umpire of the year, Alan Mustin, officiating in his last Winfield League match, gets the game under the way. The grand final for 85, and Clarence left to right, the reigning premiers are away, and a great start for Adams. Over the top he goes, running onto it. T.Neville, he's got space. Centres the football. Here's Smith. Oh, Revolt. Plenty of attention from Curly. Wheare puts him down, and I just suggest that there'll be a 15-metre penalty. And what's happened?
R.Dykes is in the thick of it.
Back behind the ball. As we expected, the umpire Mustin putting the man on the mark, right on the line, but back at half forward. There's a Guernsey missing from Nick Clark. The goal is kicked. P.Riewoldt brings up the first within 48 seconds. Just to start, the Roos are after, and they're going with the breeze in this first term.
And Glenorchy must not make the mistake of wanting to play the man, because if they do, Clarence will get away with the football game and it'll be good night Glenorchy.
Lovely centre there by T.Neville. You saw Smith hanging back, allowing the bigger man to come in, Revolt, and Curly, in frustration, gives away the 15-metre penalty, and it was on back down the ground as well.
Clarence first blood in the 85 final from centre field. Spearman to half forward, doesn't travel far enough for Farquhar, who's hit by Bowden. Tension aplenty here at league headquarters. The only one that counts for 85. To half forward, the kick. Schade in good position. Big grab and a whack behind the ear. Thank you very much, Scott Adams. That'll cost you 15 metres. Make that 30.
Who would envy the jobs of umpires Whaley and Muston today, especially this first term? Schade up to half forward, Linton front posse. Diving in there, over the top of it, Jewell. Well, Jewell didn't take part in any of the finals matches played so far, has got a Guernsey in the big one.
Half forward line, Glenorchy pressing, scrambling at the moment. Out of the pack, hip and shoulder, and a quick kick by Collis. Behind play, a bit of pushing and shoving, but it will be Michael Hibbert to relieve the pressure. Clarence, 1 goal, kicked by P.Riewoldt. Glenorchy yet to score, 2.5 minutes gone first term.
Russell Noy, it's a push from none, snap from Excell. Breeze takes it across, and then there's a leg break to take it out of bounds. So perhaps better than a behind. They got a chance for a major here. The breeze is very fluky. Danny Ling won the toss, went to that domain end, and when that first goal was kicked, the breeze was favouring the grandstand end. Shaw in front will go for safety.
Your comments exactly, Peter, with that breeze. In the reserves, we had scoring at both ends. Mark Wright in the 20. The big men in the forward pocket for Glenorchy. Tap to Excell. He's got space, hooks it around. The breeze won't bring it back. And it could float over. And A.Neville, there's Kim Excell going for that quick shot at goal. And the pressure to be relieved by key Clarence defender A.Neville.
None in front for Glenorchy, but the bigger men over the top. Russell Noy. Chips to the running Tim Neville. Proving elusive already. Around Lockley he goes. He's got the pace. Lockley harried him. Half forward up high, Adams. Chance for Rogers and for a bounce. Squares off. Here's Wheare. They moved the ball very quickly, Clarence. Rogers telling Wheare to settle down. They caught the Magpie back snapping there. Wheare directly in front. The breeze is going from left to right across those goals. You can see the distance won't worry him. He started it out left. The breeze brings it back and right through the middle. 2 goals straight are the reigning premiers, Clarence. The second coming up at the 4-minute mark of the first quarter.
And it's very noticeable that the Clarence small men who are making a running and getting away and opening up this game.
That surprised you, John, the fact that Michael Where's lining up in a forward line?
Yes, but what a good move, because he's a courageous, tough player and he'll give his 110% in any position.
Stephen Grace, the man with him who did so much damage in that second semi-final.
Tactical ploys from both sides. Schade gets some space. Bonniwell paddles to half forward. Excell chases. Gets through the pack and gets grabbed high. Tim Whaley right on the scene. That's another 15-metre penalty. Short distance kick to Spearman over his head. Poor disposal. He tried to keep it in, but to no avail. And the Spearman, who's got his left arm very heavily bandaged, getting back into position. Looking the worse for Wheare after that encounter. Clarence lead by 12 points.
Very high throw in. Postmo. James has it knocked away from him by Suckling. There's Linton. He's hit high by Clark. Gary Linton. Not the most reliable of kicks. We'll put it up there for the high flyers in front of goal. But it does favour his right boot. The breeze could bring it back. It has. Not long enough, though. A mountain of men knock it through for a behind. So the first score to Glenorchy comes up 5.5 minutes into the first term. They trail by 11 points.
Robbie Shaw cover plenty of territory this afternoon, bringing the ball into play. Hit Coleman on the button. Bowden. Both pressure being applied. Umpires having to work overtime. Excell emerges. Hurried kick looking for Bonniwell. James. He's always where the ball is, Des James. Steady defender from half-back. The target, Smith, over the top. Bowden does interfering, unnoticed. Smith does some chasing. Scrambly play. Smith eventually gets into the open. Mark Wright on the bottom of the pack. Lockley also doing some work for the Magpies. Emerges, no one to give it to. Goes for Collis. And there's a kick in his direction. At the 6.5-minute mark, Reiwoldt and Wheare have kicked Clarence's 2 goals. Glenorchy are behind the Roos by 11 points.
Over vigorous was Greg Farquhar and Greg Collis. Chance for the first major for the Black and Whites. Just to steady those butterflies, they need this goal. Breeze brings it in. The distance is there. A 6-pointer. And they'll feel much better about that one. They're 5 points down now, Glenorchy. Collis picking it fairly low, and that breeze swinging it in, and the distance that he attained with that kick surprising some people there who were about 5 metres off the line.
Schade does well. Bowden hipped. Good work by that young player to half forward. Downfield the call, is it? Let's wait and see. It could go the other way, John.
Yes, we'll go the other way. Robbie Shaw attempted to smother. Bowden put the boots up, and so it'll be free kick for Robert Shaw.
The expectancy was that Robbie Shaw could be in the thick of things early in the piece, doing the giver out, not the receiver. He's mixed it up, kicks to half forward. No talk on the Magpies defensive zone. Dykes does the tapping to Lockley. In strife, belts the ball out to Collis. Further to Grace, who whacks that player unnecessarily. Stephen Grace settle down. And Nick Clark earned that one and almost lost his jersey.
Umpire Whaley going on the side of Nick Clark this week. Remember last week in this identical position, he told Nick Clark his fortunes well and truly. The Clarence go up towards Reiwoldt off the hands of Schade. Dykes uses control, early fumbling. Webster's kick straight back to Clark. The New Guernsey will be afforded this player at quarter time. Kick onto the button of Kremerskothen, who is pressured by Schade. Very lucky, Steve Kremerskothen. Spearman, rather, who got into his back. Kremerskothen dropped what he should have taken.
Normally kicks the ball a long way. This one will wobble into the 10-metre square. P.Riewoldt first purchase. Mannion looking for the hungry one. Not quite. Scrambling in the square. And umpire Whaley, who was officiating with umpire Muston. Whaley to bounce. Clarence pressing for their third score. Dykes belts to the safety of the boundary line, trapping well his teammate Collis. Out to half-back Coleman, no. A.Neville, can he grab it? No, he can't. Well played, Suckling. Twist, turns, clever. Hoofs back towards centre wing. Who to? Noy chases. The boundary line looms up. Noy, elusive as you like, traps inside, delivers to the lead from Wheare. Over the line it is, just. Roland Curley pleased to see that result. Throw in at the 9-minute mark. Clarence lead by 5 points.
Schade front position. Reiwoldt over the top. Nothing spotted on the bottom there. It's on the way of Brett Mannion. And he can kick this. The breeze favouring him at this moment. He has to get his kick away quickly because it's changing down there. Mannion. Not a bad effort. Oh, a tin one. Metal behind and goalposts here at league headquarters. And Brett Mannion finds it to make the difference. 1 goal.
Curley. Lots of experience. Normally kicks the ball a long way. That's no exception. Will almost make centre square. Kremerskothen, what a beauty. Northern recruit, elusive half forward. Floats one into the Adams-Reiwoldt territory. Schade knocks it away, as does Curley. Elusive bounce. Rogers gone, lost it. Teammate Jewell. Gem of a hand pass to Shaw. This will float downfield.
And at the moment, not only are Clarence more desperate, but Glenorchy have become very Clarence conscious in terms of the men, and particularly Robert Shaw, the man on camera. Everyone expected perhaps Shaw to be the physical player, the boots on the other foot.
Adams, the resultant kick. And my understanding of the breeze is that Clarence are kicking against it, although it is chopping. Adams rifles run through for their third. And the Roos are hopping mad in this first 11 minutes. They're setting the scene for a big first term. They now lead by 12 points.
And there is a problem for Glenorchy. Not only are Clarence desperate, as I said, but they've got the run-on game going, and at the moment, Glenorchy are chasing. They're not only chasing, but they are disorganised, and they must rally quickly and get back into this game.
And their support for the red and whites. Schade in ruck for Glenorchy. Battles with Reiwoldt and beats him. Good talking by Clarence as they allowed Kremerskothen through, but his kick smothered. Mannion feeds the handball as ever, and a beauty. A.Neville. Adams, whistle's gone. And an attempted trip by Bowden on Neville has been relayed down ground, and it's with Scott Adams again. So a chance for his second goal from a relayed free kick. This one a lot further out. He gives it everything, except accuracy. R.Dykes the job on Scott Adams this afternoon. Rolling Curley to restart play. 12 minutes gone. 13-point leaders are Clarence, and Curley taking the chance to settle things down. Glenorchy have to regroup.
Curley, a wobbly kick. Michael Nunn all alone. Looks for Lockley. Well delivered. Lockley centre wing out aside. Magpies down on the scoreboard. Lockley's kick a floater. Suckling keeps it in with a nudge. Good ball play, Michael Suckling. A big crowd here at North Hobart. An air of expectancy about the opening. We've seen Clarence grab hold of the initiative. Suckling long blom to full forward. Good fist by Neville. Coleman will crash through. He has it. He's still got it. Slippery to Excell, who's tagged. Ling, who's been quiet. There's a kick going Magpies way. Kim Excell. Danny Ling has the ball. He's going to go over and speak to his teammate Kim Excell. And an important kick coming up for Excell, as we're almost halfway through this first term. An excellent start by Clarence. Excell kicks long. It's coming back. He's first.
That was a vital goal for Glenorchy by Kim Excell. As I mentioned, they needed the steadying goal just to give themselves the confidence and stop the Clarence run.
Umpiring of both men, especially Tim Whaley. He's keeping that eye behind the play after the ball's delivered. He saw the infringement on Excell, who capitalised with the goal. But so often players and us commentators look to where the ball's gone. The umpires are doing a fine job in watching the man who's delivered it being mishandled. Curley goes for the safety of the northern wing and finds it.
And I add to that, that is, of course, the beauty of the two-umpire system, but full advantage, full comments, I should say, to Tim Whaley, who's showing maturity beyond his years in umpiring terms.
Schade in front. Reiwoldt climbs. Schade does well. Short distance kick. How did you find space, Kim Excell? Splendid. David Pearce, eat that one. So much depends, as we spoke on our preview, Peter, of David Pearce contributing on the forward line. He needs goals early in the piece. He's a confidence player. And from this distance, should bring it back to a margin of 1 point. He's hooked it ever so badly.
But he really playing tricks, slung his leg right around that one, and it was always going to hook. And the breeze coming across that goal took it out in the full. There's James. They might value his experience before this game's out. Schade knocks away from Reiwoldt. Suckling, the quick boot. Bounces over the head of James, but he held back, thumped down nicely to Reiwoldt. Wright puts it over with some help from Hibbard. 30 and 31 for Clarence. Pat on the back for Linton. Mannion got 2 to beat. Gets some support from Wright. He's tackled by Bonnywell. He gets encouragement from Excell.
One of the first main changes, Webster the half-back flank, and they have put Coleman on the back line.
Good smothering there to keep the ball in attack. Kim Excell has kicked the goal, has been in the play.
Little to-do between he and Mannion.
Not the best of friends at the moment. Bonnywell over the shoulder, perhaps. That's the call. In a hurry to go on with things was Gary Linton. But Harold Bonnywell, as you can see, the stream is fluttering around, making it awkward. Bonnywell floats one into full forward, slips through the fingers of James. And I'd say boundary umpires Phil Williams and Graham Oborne will have plenty to do this afternoon. That's another throw-in.
That ball really swirling around up that domain end as Postma goes alone. Very wary not to infringe was Reiwoldt. He now tries to handball it through, couldn't get the fist to it. Suckling, that is. Leaving it for umpire Mustin. Let's see if Clarence can succeed in knocking it through as they've tried so desperately. Reiwoldt has the run up. Neville's on the line to accept it, so they can clear. Oh, they don't though. Schade, half a little step to play on, does with the hands. R.Dykes. It swung. Look at that breeze. Take it through for a behind. That looked home and hosed a major. R.Dykes likes kicking goals in grand finals. In New Norfolk's premiership there a few seasons ago. Remember those big running ones through the middle, taking a few bounces. Already a little blood showing on R.Dykes, as we saw in the second semi.
Bowden got up before acceptances. Strikes a fortune. Smith was going to take off, but no siree. Michael Webster. Schade already doing some good things with the ball, handball-wise. Webster kicks a long one towards full forward. Pearce goes from the side. No. He's looking for it. Not yours, David Pearce.
Correct
He's
decision.
taking ever so long to get the ball back to P.Riewoldt, who's doing a lot of work on the ball. Delivers well back towards centre wing. Schade in good position. Kremerskothen goes to spoil. Crumb gathered by Wright. Where's the target? P.Riewoldt tagged off it. Back to Wright. Couldn't quite gather. Hipped out of the way by Linton. Now there's some weight. Spearman is gone.
A stray elbow there. And Wright copped it, and now cops the free. The ball holding up in the breeze. Wrestle between Adams and Dykes. 50-50 ball, says umpire Whaley. None. Goes for safety. Oh! Misjudges by about 10 metres. And X marks the spot that Smith will take the free kick. He got over there very quickly to take that one, did Brendan Smith. Wheare thinks perhaps he was entitled as well. Smith for P.Riewoldt or Adams. No mark. Play on. Mannion is number 8 for Clarence. Has it between his legs. You thought it was a mark, did you, Walshy? You were sucked in like the crowd.
Just making a gesture at your comment, that's all. Off the boot. No, it's not a free kick. And it's going back to big Stephen Schade. Not taking advantage of a 15-metre penalty, and the two ginger nuts in all sorts of bother. A bad kick. Fortune favours Coleman, who is rifled by Clark. That was silly play. And it should be a 15-metre penalty.
Should be a report. Should be a report, and it is. The new wasting time law, and it has been applied for the first time in, well, TANFL football anyway.
Coleman to half forward. Big grab, Gary Linton. Off him. Linton gave P.Riewoldt a backhander, and Linton is going to argue furiously with Alan Mustin. Over no away.
Tremendous umpiring, good control, because Linton deserved to lose the kick.
Well, it's going from half forward to half forward line at the moment. Clark, oh, the ball was well gone when he let that one go. Schade gave one as well, and they're dishing it out. Free kick to Clarence. Mannion. Up towards Adams, the big thump from Dykes. Russell Noy, pressured by Webster. Noy beats him. Good tackle, none. Adams. And the Glenorchy fans tell the story. What a torrid start. I don't think players are too worried about getting their names in that little book in the grand final of 85. The result today is all that matters.
Curley at the 20.5-minute mark. Clarence lead by 6 points. No one really read the flight of the ball. Ling. Race head-on collision with James. Bowden it was. That was ticky-touch.
Yes. You've got to praise the umpires. You have to say when you think they're wrong, and I think they were wrong then.
James to half forward. Fingertip effort by Wheare, not quite good enough. Boundary throw in. Midway through this first term in a real tight grand final.
Foster gets the backhand, but only to Smith. Clark and Curley. Smith kept following through. Clark to Reiwoldt. Quick hands, but too wide for Mannion. Coleman traps well. You see, he can't get rid of that because his hand was held, as was the other one. He was petrified there with the ball resting on his palm. No fist to propel it. Reiwoldt. Got roved well by Clarence there. As you could see, that was the only place he could hit it. Coleman centres, and that's a good mark to the man in the middle who's Bonnywell. He shouldn't have played on though. He was caught. And Glenorchy lose that chance to go forward. 6 points the difference. 22 minutes gone of the first term, and it is the Roos who lead.
Ever so anxious to play on, are Glenorchy. And I haven't got stats with me, but one of the few times a Clarence player has infringed after a Glenorchy player has got rid of the ball, and the advantage kick played to Danny Ling. Oh, look at Suckling. Dropped it. Glenorchy looking for the ball. Back to Suckling. Rogers on his hammer. Rogers does the hard things. Pearce going into scramble.
Early nerves on a young player, John.
Yes, and really there was no excuse at all for that from Michael Suckling. The only defence, perhaps as you say, Peter, grand final nerves.
It was a superb piece of disposal from Danny Ling. Not taken the most of. Kick out of the ruck. Neville's pretty cool. Will it be 10 metres? Clark just there, raising the elbow to protect himself as they were coming at him. Rogers stood his ground for the mark. In comes Noy. Goes down just as quickly. Clark again with Excell. Back with the football. Webster puts it up there for Pearce. The thump forward from Neville. Farquhar tries to knock it through. Pearce tackled by Farquhar. Here's a go for Bonniwell. Back to the square, 2 against 1. Linton has to beat the odds and doesn't. Neville, superb mark. Pushover try attempted there by Linton. He's thrown off the business. Neville, dangerous. Shaw was calling for it, though. 2 against 1, the odds favour Glenorchy this time, but the knock was from Reiwoldt. Clever football. Mannion. Awkward left boot. Curley, being pressured all the way, though, but he has support from none. Kremerskothen pressures him. Good pick up from P.Riewoldt. He's playing a fine first term. Dykes has the sit this time on Adams. Gets one by him, the ear hole, but has the mark.
Dykes giving Adams some suggestions, which wouldn't be too complimentary, one would suggest. Tough as nails as Robbie Dykes delivers from half back to half forward. Bonniwell up before acceptances. Ling's in there. Jewell's been Ling's partner, companion. Where Ling's been in this first term, so has Paul Jewell. Prosper wins the tap. And a bit tiggy touch, I thought.
He's
There's
got
James
2,
coming
there's
away.
James, yeah.
Wants to play on, does. Effective work from James. Dykes in good position. Grace does the buttering up. Bad kick. All right to Chris Rogers.
And that was the pressure applied on the kicker by P.Riewoldt that saw that kick go astray. Kremerskothen going for flight of the ball was always going to be outmarked by Curley. Play on at all costs. Posma. Over for Linton. James has the sit to fist. Collis volleys it. Excell can't take it with him. Now he can. Kim Excell up towards Schade, who Neville has the legs on. Schade taps cleverly for Pearce, but just a bit long. That was good work from Robbie Shaw, and he copped one he didn't deserve. It was a good hip and shoulder. Neville onto the Farquhar. Long kick to half forward. Kremerskothen through the hands. Adams back to Kremerskothen. Free kick for Adams. Tackle high. Derision from the Magpie supporters. Plenty of red and white banners flying from the opposite number.
That's a questionable one.
No, I thought it was there over the shoulder.
Adams will shoot for goal. Clarence lead by 6 points. Adams has 1-1 before this shot. Follows through and it's coming back, not enough. The goal umpire having to do some work. 1-2 now to Scott Adams.
And a really big problem for Glenorchy. They're under tremendous pressure. They can't get their game going, and particularly on the forward line, they can't deliver the ball properly to David Pearce, and the Clarence back line well and truly on top.
Alan Neville certainly playing a superb game down there. Roland Curley. Torpedo punt. To the line, straight through Posma. Coleman, pretty cool. Picked his options, went for Collis. Webster telling him he's clear. Hibbert in front. Pearce. Oh, brilliant! Bit of magic from David Pearce. 20 metres out directly in front. A sticky left mitt. Well, a right one even.
And I want thanks from David Pearce for that mark, because I'm sure I just brought him right into the game.
This to put his team within 1 point. He just had a bit of liquid refreshment before the kick. 3 men on the mark, and they've put him right off. Well, he just stood there and stabbed at that one, and some nerves telling on that young player as well. But as Peter Walsh pointed out, he needs an early goal to get his confidence going. That mark should have done it, you would have thought, as Neville kicks long and up high. Coleman! Yes, it's paid.
27-minute mark. A top mark by Dean Coleman. Clarence by 5. There's the big leap. Delivers to half forward. It floats in the breeze. Whack to Lockley. Left-footed goal. The wind won't bring it around. Glenorchy peppering, but unsuccessfully. And it's 6 scoring shots apiece. But it's Clarence who lead by 5 points, almost quarter time.
Neville to Shaw. Haven't gained too much out of this. In the C.Reiwoldt direction. Postma will come with the backhander. Lockley feeds to Excell, around Mannion, gets through that little gap. Had no one to kick to. Throw in forward pocket. 28 minutes gone. Glenorchy would love a goal here, right on quarter time. Big crowd here at league headquarters, the 85 climax.
Schade belts to Pearce, who was off before acceptances. Timmy Neville through the pack, weaves, twists and turns. Good support there from Farquhar. Back towards centre wing. Kremerskothen, yes! Good grab. Off he goes, caught well by Postma. Flipped it out to Smith. Nunn. Top intestinal fortitude. Coleman. Slow. Effective to Lockley. Just as effective. Away goes Collis. Pearce on the scene. Dives, and that's good enough. This time David Pearce, perhaps 28.5 minutes gone. Kicked by Collis, and Pearce going for the slips catch. Does well. He's getting some advice from all and sundry. Michael Nunn, Roland Curley, Danny Ling, Paul Jewell, who's been on Ling for the first term. Pearce, whose first shot at goal was woeful. On the siren. Second shot not much better. A disappointing end to the first term with David Pearce kicking that behind. So it's Clarence leading by 4 points at quarter time. 3-3-21 to Glenorchy 2-5-17.
4-point leaders at Clarence. They're going to the left of your screen. Glenorchy had great difficulty kicking goals at that domain end in the first term. Let's see if Clarence are any more successful. The breeze, a very difficult swirling one here at league headquarters today. Schade against Reiwoldt, and Reiwoldt wins it. Collis. Linton with James. Rogers kept it in front of him well to Farquhar. Kremerskothen. Long he goes for Adams. Reiwoldt. Collis clears to the centre. Not a good bounce for Lockley. Not a good bounce for anyone. Neville. Here's M.Wright. Oh, dropping the ball. High on is the call. Glenorchy have the advantage anyway. Lockley for Pearce. Got one hand to it. Hibbert bearing down on him. Pearce has the pace. That's out. Good boundary umpiring. Pearce was out, as was, more importantly, the football throw in on half forward.
The expression may be, Peter, you make your own luck in football, but just how fickle can the ball bounce when it's windy? You look as if you're in perfect position to grab the ball, and all of a sudden, doesn't happen. Excell gathers and kicks. Could be the trend in the second term, the ball giving the boundary umpires plenty of work. Both forward lines finding it difficult. Pearce caught well, off hands to James. James looked pleadingly at the umpire for the kick. Back to Noy, who can't gather. None can. Looks well with a lock shave. Gets a whack after he kicks the ball. Umpire Whaley having a look. Wasn't enough. It's Timmy Woodham jumping to his feet. A peak tap, looking ever so resplendent as Tim. Wouldn't be too happy at the moment.
Bowden over the top. Suckling puts down James, who will get the free kick. Suckling is then put down for his corner by Clark. Quieter start to the second term. 2.5 minutes gone. No scorers yet in the quarter. Revolt from behind. In fact, no one has touched this football as yet. Rogers has the other 43 none tackle in. Curley downed after he got rid of it. Free kick up ground to Excell. And the umpire just telling none to watch it. Oh, there's a free kick for Webster as Kremerskothen charged straight into it.
But what does he do? He had to make some effort. He did. Webster. And there's a kick. Pearce is looking at the umpire. The Clarence crowd, Hibbert can't believe the decision. But the Glenorchy fans can.
Yeah, Hibbert ran into a teammate who in turn speared into the back of David Pearce.
Well, can David Pearce the goals this time? His first couple of shots have been pretty ordinary. From centre half forward, an important kick for the Pies. If they lead, if he kicks the goal, they'll lead. It's long and it is straight, and they are in front.
Right now, watch David Pearce, because he really has been trying. He hasn't had the run of the ball, but he's a young man with a lot of determination. Some people have questioned that. I don't for one moment, and he's going to play a big part in this game, and particularly in this quarter.
So if we can see the infringement here, you'll see Des James went down, and that was after he cannoned into the back of Pearce after Hibbert knocked him down. So it was sort of a domino effect, and Pearce took the advantage of it. So the Maggies in front for the first time today. Nick Clark hasn't bothered getting a new Guernsey yet for a time. Wynnum and Wheare, he says. Schade down towards none, but he's beaten by Noy. Lockley comes in. Dispossessed was Collis. P.Riewoldt. Wheare goes down and will get a free, infringed by Grace. Wheare looking up to the square where he sees Shaw with Spearman. Behind them, Dykes and Adams. Snap over the shoulder, yes! What a goal! 2 for Scott Adams, and that one pure opportunistic. And Robbie Dykes is telling him the same thing, but perhaps not in the same language. Doesn't matter how they're scored, they all count, and that was a brilliant goal. Watch this. The Roos back in front.
Goal for goal. P.Riewoldt having a run on the ball. Off hands to Mannion. Adams the target. Shaw couldn't gather. Oh, Grace belted out of the way, but fairly. Dykes can't get space. Shaw and Dykes belt each other behind play. Jules dispossessed. And umpire Whaley had a quick look over the shoulder then. There was a bit of talking from behind just to make sure that things weren't too aggressive behind his back. Schade and Riewoldt, shoulder for shoulder. Schade doing well. Farquhar leads, not favoured by the bounce. Noy does it well. Good hip and shoulder by Ling. Bowden knocks down the Noy's in strife. Linton with strength. Against Linton.
Yes, the umpire said he had the chance. He ducked the head, got caught again.
Clark. Being held was P.Riewoldt. Russell Noy, I think, will be okay. Shaw says, get back in there. P.Riewoldt will go to the goal square. Adams is his target through his hands. Plenty of Glenorchy men to ferry it through. Spearman and to Riewoldt for the ball to go back into play. Difference is 5 points, and it is Clarence who lead.
Roland Curley, not all that pretty to look at. Usually the socks down, but consistent player. Spearman.
He doesn't think you're the answer either, Pete.
Spearman is rough and tough. Delivers long. Pearce. Ling to half forward. Bonniwell over the top. Postma lumbers. Can he grab it? Traps it. Bonniwell. Brace calling for it. Neville. Cool as you like. Back to half back. Stephen Schade. Look for the bounce. Over the top. Lewis. Moose. Go. To half forward. Spearman does the steady.
Schade should have attacked the ball then. He let it bounce, and the way it's been bouncing today, that's a fatal manoeuvre. Spearman to half forward. In comes Pearce. Ling's hands. bounce on half forward. Suckling wrapping up right. Schade, beaten by P.Riewoldt. Mannion did that very well, but holding the ball now. He got past one, but not Excell. Feeds out for Bowden. He's under pressure. Back to Lockley. Collis. They've moved the ball forward about 10 metres, Glenorchy, in that exchange.
Looking for that handball all the time, Glenorchy. In these windy conditions, not too effective. Schade does the heavy work. Grace leads for it. Suckling, good support. Farquhar did the diving. Neville went for safety, but after the whistle had sounded. Perhaps overuse of the handball, John?
Yes, perhaps from Glenorchy. Let me make a comment about Stephen Schade. He's doing a particularly fine job in the ruck. He's nullifying P.Riewoldt.
Riewoldt won that tap. Bonnewell was on him that time, and then Neville was infringed when he didn't have it. And that's crazy, Greg. Farquhar. What a stupid thing to do. He's just thrown Michael Suckling's boot into the crowd. Now, that is uncalled for.
It's just come back, fortunately, Peter. Someone's had the sense to throw it back.
It went to a Glenorchy fan or perhaps a right-thinking Clarence supporter. The ball's on half forward. Big thump away by Dykes. Kremerskothen. Now Clark busts one. Is busted in turn. He puts the boot in and kicks it out of Adams' hands. Dykes and Adams going on with it. Down goes Dykes. The ball might be taken off Clarence. No. It stays with Moose Lewis. Lewis on half forward. There's a lead from Wheare. Ignored. Oh, that's almost a mark. Yes, great stuff, Roland Curley.
9 minutes gone, second term. But it's Clarence clinging to this 5-point lead. A battle of defences in the grand final. Plenty of biffs and cuffs to keep this big crowd on their toes. Curley afloat at a half-back. P.Riewoldt can't hold it. Bonnewell clever to Bowden. Bounces up for him. He'll head to centre wing. Pass to half-forward. Excell. Too quick for M.Wright. Plays on. Pearce the target. Over the top of Hibbard. Well done, Michael Hibbard. The long reach just enough to be off-putting. And he's tipped it over the line for a throw-in at the 10-minute mark of this term. And last year's Premier's heading for 2 in a row. Trying to anyway.
Bonnewell comes over the top. Suckling, perhaps spoilt by his own man in Pearce. Throwing himself in there was right. He hands back to umpire Whaley. Not much scoring going on in this quarter. Nice tap from Hosmer to Excell. Had nowhere to go. Free kick's gone to M.Wright. Excell and Reiwoldt go on with it. Neville. Wobbly left foot kick up towards Reiwoldt. Webster. Danny Ling against Mannion. Mannion, nice punch. Noy tries to get through the gap. He's back in there, gets one in the back almost from Ling. And in comes umpire Marston, cooling anything that might have flared there between Noy and Ling.
Schade uncontested. Kremerskothen looking for the kick. Dragged off it. Magpies in with a chance. Oh, that's head high.
Bit of feeling between those two.
Danny Ling and Russell Noy. Duel, the man who's waving the hand.
Of course, Ling ran into Russell Noy earlier on in the game, so perhaps trying to even up.
Wright does the fisting. Webster runs onto the ball. Out of the pack, Hibbard bounce over the top or through the legs. Neville can't trap. Pearce goes without it. Got one around the head. A free kick, a goal and a mog it on, and he'll feel a lot better.
Yes, the kick was there, but David Pearce made sure the umpire saw it. The hand went up to the head, the agony on the face.
Pearce has kicked one goal, and it looks as if we may have a shower of rain. It's a pity, the big crowd here loving the football. Pearce at centre half forward. We say every time he shoots for goal, it's an important kick. Well, in the grand final, every kick's important. To the hoots of the crowd, the Clarence supporters anyway. Pearce kicks. It starts to waver. 1 goal, 3 to David Pearce.
Yes, a missed opportunity then. David Pearce should have made sure of that.
Alan Neville's kick, a hand onto it was from Bowden. Thrown on half forward for Glenorchy. They trail by 4 points, as they did at quarter time. P.Riewoldt down to Des James. Goes straight into Wright, but that's a clever tap over towards Mannion. The hand was over Mannion's shoulder there from Linton, but both wrestling for the football. P.Riewoldt has his handball smothered by Lockley. Suckling has a chance. Knocked back in, but diving Suckling, holding the ball, says Wright. Holding the man, says the umpire.
And Robert Costner off the ground for Glenorchy, Dean Mansfield on.
Michael Suckling. The breeze, it's so hard to pick, perhaps just a little with him on this occasion. Depending on which flag you go by. Distance might be just against him. He gives it everything. Mansfield, the Glenorchy player, in there. Now there's a chance for Pearce. Smothered by an absolute wall of red and white. Farquhar was the man who had the ball. Clarence looking to knock this through for a behind. P.Riewoldt has the chance now and does just that. 3 points the difference now. We've played 14 minutes into this second quarter, which hasn't really given any side decisive break as yet.
Very low-scoring grand final. Rogers has some space. Ling on the scene. Coleman doing some heavy work with Jewell, but Ling gets the ball. Grizzly rain at the moment. Ling at centre wing. A congested Magpie forward line. Not too many options. Hit and hope. Off hands. Excell does the knocking. Kicked away by Bowden into the forward pocket. Lockley and A.Neville. Almost a fluky kick marked. Not quite. And Glenorchy, who have found it difficult to score goals, have it bottled up in their forward pocket.
Bounces off the head of P.Riewoldt. Wright runs onto it. Puts it out in front of Noy, who has the break on Grace. Got support from Lewis. Bounces nicely for that player. Well, was undecided about left or right. Ended up kicking straight up in the air. Wheare knocks to ground. Lewis follows up. Squares. Down goes Coleman, but he's handballed well today. Spearman tackled high. It wasn't a bad handball, though Spearman had nowhere to go. Luckily, he got caught high.
Back to centre wing, fisted away, taken by Smith, who's collar. Well, that's a touchy one. Bowden gets the handball, he moves. Off to half forward, Linton. Pearce the target. Looking for the free kick, tries to crash through, can't do so. Effective work by Hibbert. Neville does the clearing. Clark does the marking, half back, away go the Roos.
Not a good kick. None. Ling has support. Linton. Pearce is the man he's after. Coleman kicks off the ground. Mansfield rather. Noy. They do it well, the defence of the Roo side. James trundles it out there for Rogers. James then shepherds off Schade, cocks one. He then dishes one out again to Neville. Meanwhile, Clarence has gone astray. Half back, it's Curley who's got it.
Shade's been reported.
2 names in book so far. Schade and Adams. Back of the game, and Kremerskothen has it. They're kicking to kick at the moment.
Yes, end for end football.
Kremerskothen sees Adams lead. That's good enough. It's okay to heap plaudits on Adams when he takes those marks, but the players delivering from further afield do it so well. Adams just getting that space from Dykes, who's not happy with himself. Adams on the point of the centre square. 2 goals, 2 for tally. This one will float into the square. Schade holds the ball in the air despite his recent misdemeanour, and will clear for the Magpies, who trail by just 3 points after 17 minutes.
Excell. Oh, he's gone a million. They should be punished here, Glenorchy. They haven't been. Lucky to get out of that, Magpies.
Well, they wear the black and white jumpers, and it really nearly was the Collingwood disease.
Free kick to Curley, to Bowden. He's a little uncertain. Grace the target with Lewis. Over the top, Noy, who got a heavy knock early. Oh, strong shepherding from behind. Ball barrel back towards Lewis. Hooks it over to half forward. Curley in the middle. Off hands, Kremerskothen. Clever. Heads for home. Wobbly kick over the top. Revolt. Not quite. Free kick. Going the way of Coleman. Over the shoulder the call. The mountain of the man. Dean Coleman to relieve. Webster. Around Kremerskothen. Oh, if Kremerskothen had had his Guernsey, you would have gone off. Schade. The big fella's going for a gallop. Appalling handball. P.Riewoldt goes down, and then a mountain of them tumble. Legs, arms flailing, and fists. Oh, look at them go.
Mustin wants to find that football to get things underway straight away. Scott Adams will be given the free kick.
Adams, too long for Revolt. No, it's spilt by Coleman. He's got a free. Advantage is now paid. Curley. Dykes. There's been a few dished out here today. Quiet, Cloud, quiet as we go back to the football. Smithers kick. Handball on from Clark. Kremerskothen can go across to Wheare, and Wheare can goal. And does. No, he's missed it.
And after that melee, Scott Adams off the ground and Robert Shaw back on.
Well, neither side able to stamp any authority on this game so far. What have we had as far as goals go in this term? 2 each.
1 each.
1 each, rather.
Noy gets through the pack. Is collared. And there's a call for a kick to Ling, who was slapped. 19 minutes gone in round 2. Plenty of action in the middle. Not much on the scoreboard. Grace couldn't quite get it. Wright to half forward. Attempt from Jewell, not quite. Shaw. Shaw and Wright. Didn't travel far, that one, Robbie Shaw, but far enough. Back to centre wing. Behind play, Shaw and Dykes, who would not be on extra friendly terms, I wouldn't think.
One can only presume that Robbie Shaw thinks it was Robbie Dykes who dished the one out to Scott Adams a little earlier, when Adams' head was held in a vice-like grip, and he could not avoid that one. Or 2, or 3, or 4. Bounce on half forward. Schade. Scooped up by Grace. He can feed it out to Suckling, but he's tackled by Lewis. And a good tackle by Moose Lewis. Nothing moving for him, so he goes right up to the line. 2 against 1. Glenorchy have the numbers. That's no mark. Play on is the call. It's touched in front by Schade. And not excellent bounce.
Took up umpiring.
Yeah, good.
One hand too.
But you couldn't have done that in your umpiring days, John.
Not one-handed like that sitting down, no.
See how he goes in the ruck. He's going to get a chance at goal. Misses. No, Schade had hands on that first before Riewoldt got it. It was a good decision. Riewoldt, though, still doesn't believe it, I don't think. See, Shade's hands definitely, then Riewoldt.
Mannion snaps it out of the pack, kicks it goal. Accuracy not to the fore from both teams. 1-3 to Clarence in this term, 1-2 to Glenorchy. Clarence by 5 points. Almost 22 minutes gone. Curley goes for a gallop. Thumps one back to midfield. Excell the target. The umpire's dynamite, not letting play get out of the way. Ling got a hand pass when not ready for it. Grace to Dykes. Dykes got slapped around the chops to half forward. Collis goes the high ball. Pearce interfered with. Neville leads in the race for the ball and goes for safety, and there's plenty of hoops. Comment, John?
My interpretation of the rule, that was a free kick to David Pearce.
I'm afraid, John, your interpretation counts for nothing. 5 points the difference. Grace, nowhere to go. Spins it back in and Suckling marks. Michael Suckling, hard up against the boundary line. Not a bad kick. Oh, I don't think he gave himself much chance of goal there and just went to put it up there and has very nearly kicked it. It's made the difference. 4 points yet again, so we've played this whole 22-46 of the second quarter for nothing so far because the difference at quarter time was 4 points to Clarence.
Collis. Midfield to thump the Pies back into attack. Goes long. P.Riewoldt, vice-like grip on the ball. Not too keen to let him go as Dean Mansfield. That'll cost him some yardage, some meterage. Riewoldt. Brother Chris not quite off Coleman's hands. Collis, bounce. Crashing through his Farquhar. Bowden. Space for Linton and James who chases. The nudge was effective. They both roll over. Brendan Smith coming in to give some support. And a bounce down 1.5 minutes away from time on. And it's still Clarence leading by 4 points in the grand final.
And really is the scales teetering at the moment, John. Just which way are they going to tip?
Yes, which side will get the run on and create a winning break.
Foster's tapped down, right. Played a solid game. Kremerskothen in the middle of that black and white pack. He didn't get the mark, but he's fed it out nicely to Rogers. Not a good kick. Webster. Too long for Excell, and there's P.Riewoldt. That just shows you the breeze. I thought Excell was in not a bad position because the ball's been dropping short going to that end for most of the match, but that one carried. Curley's good mark. Ling had to get rid of it quickly. Bowden to Webster. Farquhar.
Trend continuing, both half-back lines well on top. Farquhar's kick, courageous interception by Ling. Jewel on the bottom of that pack. A surprise inclusion, Jewel, but he's done quite well.
Yes, hasn't played in any of the other final games, but brought in for the big one.
Awkward bounce. Effective tap to Excell. High ball to half forward. Linton the target. Ling in front. Through the feet of Wright. Smith's in there doing some heavy work. No lack of courage. And as we hit time on in this second term, the Magpies pressing for a score. It's on their half-forward line, but Clarence lead by 4 points.
Postma down there for Excell. Got that way under, plenty of pressure, and it will go up ground. Danny Ling will take it. Only a little man, Danny Ling. But he can hoof the football. Breezes against him. He goes into the pocket. Lockley. Clarence caught napping there. Time for a little snooze, they thought. And Lockley fading down ground has a chance to put his team in front for only the second time this afternoon. Not an easy shot. And it's proved just that, pretty difficult. 3 points now to Clarence. A minute into time on.
And I noticed that Mark Balcom was on the ground, Michael sucking off for Glenorchy.
Neville, as fullbacks do so often these days, takes the advantage of no pressure and gets away. Back to centre wing. Collis to half forward. Bonniwell up before acceptances. New player Balcom chasing Neville. Twisting and turning Mansfield, well collared. Hungry for the ball and for a smack in the middle of that one. And there are some tempers, David Pearce and Michael Hibbard. Michael Hibbard and David Pearce, there are they, and they are going hammer and tong, as is Greg Farquhar and Harold Bonniwell, being separated by the goal umpires. That's Stephen Grace, 38, Mark Balcom, 20. Jimmy Neville stepping into the barn dance.
Very similar to a stoush out at KG5 earlier in the year, right on the boundary line.
And David Pearce has been given the kick.
The umpires in that situation must pick out a free kick early and then stick to that decision because it's pretty hard to work out, and Hibbard not looking too brilliant.
It's a bit like Shintoshi Shingaki, doesn't he? Pearce to put his team in front. He's put him within 2 points. What's his personal tally?
1 goal, 4.
Some breathers. Torrent stuff. Neville. For P.Riewoldt. Mannion. Clark. Breathing on him is Curley. Threw it out in front of himself very cleverly and has got the free kick. Curley between a rock and a hard place there. Clark up high. Up goes Adams! Huge mark. Scott Adams. And as we approach half-time, one of the marks of the year from Scott Adams. If he could kick this one, Clarence will think it's one of the goals of the year. Thumped by none. Still in scoring range for Clarence. On half-time, just 2 points separate the combatants in the 85 grand final. It's Clarence, the reigning premiers, who have the slender lead. Yeah, there's only, yeah, we don't really need...
We're going to keep the whole lot.
We haven't got enough tapes to keep the whole grand final. Don't suppose we'll ever get to replay it or anything. That's the trouble. Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty right. There were a lot of fights. Oh, that was Adams hitting Dykes. Oh. See, look at Adams. What's he do? Some Clarence bloke. Look at this, look at the squirrel grip. Did you see the squirrel grip on Adams? An absolute... Take it back. Take it back. You watch Dykes, he's got his hand between Adams' legs. Just, now run it forward from here. See Adams, oh dear, oh dear. Now look at the hand. Now, see the hand goes up between his legs. He's got him by the squirrel, the squirrel. Look at this. Oh, that big squirrel. Oh, look, he's still got him. Look, he's got it. What did he do? Yeah? Yeah. You got to keep that. Oh, yes, keep that. Oh, no. Away this time, I'd say it's Henderson. Henderson going, now comes Allender on the outside, he gobbles up Eastleigh. Allender has it, a half a metre to Eastleigh. Smith coming through from New Norfolk, but Allender will get it. Allender from Eastleigh, Smith, then Henderson, who's done a hammy. And is now having a technicolor yawn. Allender, my money please, money please.
Very shortly. But the winner of the inaugural Winfield CAA Grand Final Sprint, representing North Hobart, Red Allender.
Ah, I've collected. There goes Pazza, just coming in 7th.
And officially second, Eastleigh in the time of 11.70. It's my pleasure now, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce the executive of the Winfield Company, Mr. Peter Conroy, who will make the presentation to the winner. Thank you, Mal. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Winfield Company, it gives me great pleasure to be able to present this cheque of $500 to Red Allender, the winner of the inaugural Winfield 500. Congratulations, Brett.
What, I thought they ran over, I thought it was over 100 metres, not 500.
And also the consumer prize, ladies and gentlemen.
What's that? He said the Winfield 500. Money is more important than distance.
Kay Hargraves, 32 Phillip Road, West Hobart. To the competitors in the event, we also
Kathy Wilson is an absolute stunner. Winfield lady, got the Australian flag on the far row. Yeah. She's got a leg spread a little bit with the pole between.
Oh, the chap with the camera next to her.
Yeah.
I can't see for the pole. And it's not the pole she's holding, it's the bloke with the camera's pole. He's standing right in front of me. Yes, she certainly looks well.
She's very nice.
But a brilliant smile.
Let's have another look. Let's have another look.
In the inaugural Winfield CAA $500 sprint over 100 metres. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please applaud the runners in the appropriate manner?
In the appropriate manner.
The appropriate manner is, it's been a huge one today, the appropriate. Well done, Steve. Bad luck. I listen to Jim when Steve runs fast.
Georgie Bissett's on.
Georgie Bissett.
Yeah, little Georgie. Wee Georgie.
You know Kevin Murray's here as well.
Yeah. Has he got his teeth? He lost them about 4 years ago. He played in the premiership side last year, you know, in the Diamond Valley.
Georgie Bissett?
No, Kevin Murray.
Oh, really?
First premiership side he's ever played in.
Ladies and gentlemen, just repeating once again the completion of today's Winfield League Grand Final. Presentation of the winning team has been conducted in front of the
Legs akimbo.
Now, to enable this to be carried out in a professional manner, patrons are requested to remain off the oval completely until the presentation is completed. Your cooperation in respect to this request would be very gratefully appreciated. Thank you.
Settle down, Peter G. Don't fog up my binoculars. Jimmy Woodham having a bit of advice to give to the lads. What do you think, John? I mean, very difficult to predict.
Will Woodham have another go? It was Roger Curtis, was it?
Yeah. I didn't know who it was initially, but got the glasses up. Big Roger. Big fella.
He stirs them up, old Rog, doesn't he?
Yeah, Roger.
Takes it all a bit seriously, I
Well, he
feel.
wouldn't give us the steam off his you-know-what at the door when I said, look, Roger, what about just giving us the word? He said, there's a team meeting in 30 seconds. Yeah. And I said, look, I only want to know who the 20 are.
Well, I finally got it off him later.
Did you?
Yeah.
Big Roger. Loves being involved.
Four, three, two, one.
A few beers tonight. A few brown ones.
Beers over there.
Well.
Yeah. I'll bring over some Coopers. Some Coopers Ale.
Hopefully to celebrate a victory by Glenorchy and a victory by Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Two birds I want this afternoon. And you want that one over there with the flags.
Exactly. Legs akimbo. I don't know. Up the roofs.
Right up
Kerry.
the roofs.
Right up them. Danny's no ding-a-ling. He'll put him in the shade.
to win this one.
Sure can. No, Gerald, you haven't been listening close enough.
Come on, Gerald, get your act together.
David
Freemasons
Pearce.
now. It's a lovely rainbow here now.
Well, first Hugh Evans, now Gerald Costier.
That's right, yep.
What's the ABC?
Oh, very
glorious,
nice.
Ray.
Excellent work.
What's the ABC coming, Session? That's what I want to know. That white,
God has put his super over the rainbow.
that whitehead's got a lot to answer for, Gerald.
Take a close up at the rainbow and see if the super looks as effective as over the colour bars. 2 points the difference. Wheare.
Who was the bloke he had a go at?
Roger Curtis, the chap who's walking along next to the fellow with the red and white top on.
I thought it was
holding
like
the
the red
board.
and white
No, hang on.
board
No,
that he
that's
had
not
to go at.
No. Where's Roger Curtis now?
Roger's got the blue top on and the
Where is he?
brownie coloured stripes.
No, that's Roger there. Yeah, that's the one he had to go at.
Oh,
With
right.
the blue top, yeah.
With the light-coloured jeans on,
Yeah.
trousers.
The
Yeah.
moleskins.
The moleskins.
Here we go.
Oh my God, what a horrible sight.
We're crossing to New Norfolk for an update. Who was that?
John Evans.
The vital.
Come on, Hawks. Come on, Magpies.
Why? The combined side couldn't be destined.
Oh, you never know. You never know. Grand finals, a different ball game.
Oh, the Scraggers then.
Yeah, I like it. Let's go. Come on, a big second half.
The vital quarter commences. The third one, 2 points the difference. Clarence lead by that margin. And a free kick to Collis. He'll put the Magpies into attack first up. Out for Grace. Oh, approaching him was Excell. He took his eyes off it. Clark's handball smothered, but he's still in there. And we'll do it all over again.
Aggression displayed in the correct manner will win this football game. Both sides tentative in the first half. No one able to gain any authority on the match as Grace chases, with Mannion bearing down, Kremerskothen bearing down. He was first to emerge with it, back to half forward. Marked by, on the field for the first time, Michael Price. Adams the target at full forward. Lewis should run onto it. Oh, not favoured by the bounce. Back to Adams. Should send out, kicks to the unguarded goal. Rogers could take a difficult one. Does? No, he doesn't. Tough one, Chris Rogers. First score for the quarter comes to Clarence.
Scott Adams, I think, expressing some sympathy there for his teammate, indicating the ball swirling around in this gusty breeze.
Roland Curley. We'll go with the torpedo punt, that little short jab, and he jabs it into the centre square. Balcom. Go now. Oh, that one should have been taken. Webster spilled it, flicks it out for Suckling. Noy does that well. Mannion. Tim Neville knocks through. P.Riewoldt can go again, but couldn't gather. Whereas the ball was bouncing awkwardly earlier, it's running along the ground now. Neville comes out with it. Lewis. The high kick. Dykes has front position. Rogers, snap. Chance to Seti now, and goal. Well, I called a snap. I thought he'd drop it straight onto the boot, but he was very cool, Chris Rogers, and got that break, steadied up and put to his first. And that could be a vital goal at the opening of the third term. Lewis, and high kick looking for a mark. Adams ended up having to knock it down, and Rogers, after missing that mark in the square, puts through the goal that puts his team 9 up.
P.Riewoldt on the ball, doing some heavy work. Lockley across his path. Does well. Oh, hand pass to Bowden, put him under pressure. Short distance kick to half forward. Collis and Linton were doing battle. Lockley come through without it. Slow was Clark. Rogers couldn't quite take it. Riewoldt looking for it, threw it out. Umpire not sighted. Mannion kicks to half forward. Adams goes to spoil. Falcom, Coleman.
Poor old Jimmy Kerr, the Mercury photographer, just to the right there. He has been pushed around more times this season by big packs of players than by his wife.
Schade, not an effective handball. Balcom, a scrubber. Moose. As they did in the first term, Clarence opening with a rush to start the third term.
Schade, Reiwoldt has the run in on him, but hits the ground before the ball arrives. Schade couldn't do much about it. Jewell, Colin.
The only significant change for Glenorchy so far, Michael Webster, the centre half forward.
Revolt, Clark couldn't take it with him. Lockley runs into a roll of red and white and will be penalised. No. Jeez, he had time to get rid of that, didn't he?
I think he should have been penalised, Peter. He tried to barge through and got caught.
Price caught. By the call.
Two doubtful ones there.
And an important kick for Michael Price at the start of this third term. Clarence have edged to lead by 9 points. Would be very handy here, a goal. Lewis going in to give some assistance, verbal assistance. Michael Price only 30 metres out. It's long, it's wavering around, it's going to drop short. Over the top, and that's the breeze again. Fickle wind here at League headquarters. But Clarence doing all the attacking and all the scoring subsequently in this third term.
Curley. Wright tries to knock it down for Mannion. Mannion's the man that ends up with it. He had no time to get rid of that. Caught by Coleman, number 22. Suckling. Coleman through Noy. Shows a bit of pace, the big man. Danny Ling's got it. Oh, but look at him coming at him. He's beaten two. Swings up for Pearce, who's from behind. Bonniwell knocks to ground. Excell can goal here. Oh, Webster was running into the edge of the square too. Whereas at the other end of the ground, Rogers took a bit of time. Excell quickly snapped at it. Difference is 9 points.
There's James. Will he go? Lewis, yes. Safe mark at half-back. Bowden too late on the scene. Clarence at this stage just appearing to be the more steady. Schade in front. Reiwoldt almost stole it. That's Peter. Chris for support. Peter's gone! Chris gets a nudge. Looks for the kick. And by a while he signifies it's his ball. He and Alan Muston in control of the grand final.
This is Michael Price. Look at Lockley bear down on him. Well picked up, Mark Balcombe. First man we've seen really cleanly gather the ball in when it's bouncing this afternoon. It's been some awful fumbling, not hurt by the very blustery conditions.
This third quarter so far, a repeat of the first quarter. The early part of that quarter, Clarence put the pressure on and got away from Glenorchy.
Excell. Financial transaction going on down near our effects microphone as Pearce takes the mark. One for his personal tally. It's a big hoof. It's through the middle. The difference back to 3 points. Pearce's second goal. Fine mark, fine conversion.
One wonders whether it'll be Glenorchy or Clarence who'll eventually break away. Goal for goal in this third term. We've gone 7.5 minutes, still anyone's ball game. Lewis at half-back. James in strife. Played by Collis, who tries to belt it on. Wright did the belting, but it could have been too high. Play on still the call. Excell. Collis. Boot the ball quickly. Pearce. Nudge is effective and mark is just as good. A gentle hip and shoulder at the appropriate time.
As I mentioned during the second quarter, Glenorchy relies so much on this fellow on their forward line. Linton it was, and a little nudge, as P.Riewoldt said, and David Pearce, who has to fire for Glenorchy to be premiers in 85. Perhaps in this quarter, he's well on the way to doing it. 1 goal in this quarter, make it 2 goals in this quarter, and 3 altogether for David Pearce, and Glenorchy are in front.
Confidence starting to well up in David Pearce now. Finally got on target. 3 for his tally. 2 2 majors in a row. And his team are in front. The crowd right behind them. See what the Roos are made of. It's Bowden who gets it caught for the Magpies, though. Here's none. Pearce goes back. One hand to it. Which way will... That is Hibbard with the new Guernsey go. He goes for right. Working along the right street side of the ground. A paddock in front of Russell Noy. 2, 3. Long kick to half forward. Schade. Caught! Dykes and Clark. Adams comes in over the top. And R.Dykes has got the free kick.
Almost lost it then because he was a bit keen to get on with the business. The boxing business. Dykes to centre wing. P.Riewoldt. Slippery to Mannion now. Awkward kick. Schade. Yes. Big Stephen Schade in defence. Malcolm goes to centre wing. Webster the target. Effective use of the body from Michael Webster. Sets up Pearce. Excell running past. James from behind. Excell off the boot. Spearman traps it. He'll be collared. He's collared. Where are the Roos defenders? Rogers, Price. Off hands Reiwoldt to Lewis. From half back to half forward. Schade, that man. No one reads the flight of the ball. Suckling, favoured by the bounce. In trouble. Caught. Collared. Gone. Play allowed to go on. Half forward. Umpire Whaley. Umpire Mustin this time will call for it.
Yes, the ball eventually came loose, and that's why Alan Mustin called play on.
Schade. Price. One out duel. Adams, Dykes. Linton over the top, held by Adams when he didn't have it. Gary Linton, half back. Nothing whatsoever offering, so he'll just put it up there. Hope one of his teammates gets it. There's James, knocks it to ground. Russell Noy. Adams, one hand to it. Curley, cool. Support from Balcom. Magpies looking better. But for how long? Lewis. To the other number 40, Suckling. Good control. Webster. Neville back there. Pearce. Legged. Free kick. David Pearce just a little further out than the goal he kicked a few moments ago, the first of his 2 in a row, so he goes around the man on the mark, then kicks it, but not long enough. Farquhar.
Marvellous what a couple of goals does to one's confidence. Farquhar to relieve after 12 minutes of this third term. Dangerous Grace. 2 pies. Lockley on his feet. Ridden into the turf. Noy the infringer. Umpire Whaley says no go. Lockley gets to his feet. Looks anxiously around. M.Wright, a puzzled expression on the face. Lockley gritting the fists. P.Riewoldt leaping. Off hands to none, who does some shepherding. They all want it. Excell tries to get rid of it. Mannion has hold of him. An excellent third term of football. Glenorchy lead by 3 points after 12.5 minutes, and the drizzle continues to fall at league headquarters.
Grabbed out of the air by P.Riewoldt. Gary Linton. Hibbard and Pearce having a wrestle in the goal square. It's gone in their direction. Big torpedo punt. Play on's the call. Pearce is caught. Good tackle there by Farquhar, and he'll get the free. Don't know whether that's his blood on the right thigh or someone else's. Been a bit of it flowing today. Mannion. Lewis. To P.Riewoldt. Good mark, Coleman. Thought about playing on. Now he does with the handball. Curley. Pearce has 2 behind him. They swamp him, but Excell rose. He's caught. Pearce caught by 2. A bounce, half-forward line. Glenorchy in attack, they're 3 points up.
Doesn't matter whether David Pearce does get caught. The important thing is that he's in there trying his heart out for his side.
Ling does the fisting. James will go for safety, not quite safe. Glenorchy forwards looking for that free kick. Bonniwell, who's been conspicuous by his absence this afternoon, a quiet player, gets to his feet. He's going to do some ruck work. Excell on screen, number 11. P.Riewoldt, hands on hips. Bonniwell trying to work his body into position. Riewoldt tap trapped by Excell. Hurried kick close to the line. Farquhar got a hip and shoulder, but it's over, and the crowd hushed, waiting for something to happen. Well, there's been lots of action. Perhaps the scoreboard attendants haven't been working overtime, but the players have. Throw in the forward pocket.
Bonniwell. Wind won't bring it round enough. 4 points the lead now for Glenorchy. Coming up to 15 minutes gone of the third term. The scales have not tipped as yet. Curly! It's not sticky enough. Noy, the running Kremerskothen. He's collared by Grace, who can get up and go on. Schade got in his road, but Grace keeps going, feeds off to Coleman. The big fellow's shown some nice skills today. In comes Bonniwell from behind. Oh, it nearly fell down to his grasp too. Pearce wrestles free and kicks a goal. 4 goals for David Pearce, and not so long ago his personal tally was 1-4. And we talk so much about Pearce being a confidence player, and that is an example of it. Coleman did some good stuff there, suckling a nice shepherd. Bonniwell almost had it fall to him, and look, he busted 2 of them. Saw the goals, and that was going to go through right from the moment it hit the boot.
Clark to try and lift Clarence. Magpies edging away. Linton can't pick it up. Now he can. He's collared by Rogers, against Rogers, who isn't happy. Exasperation, frustration, you name it. The leather with Linton. Danger. Across the ground to Curly. Kremerskothen there. Curly, a splendid grab. 15 against 2, Russell Noy. Magpies flying at the moment. They lead by 10 points. Curly will bang one a long way down the ground. Into the forward pocket. Webster coming through hard. A.Neville defends. Curly in the way. Throws himself at the ball. 16 minutes gone. Curly will go across the ground. Linton will play on. Should kick it long. Does. Into full forward. Pearce in front of Hobart over the back. 2-on-1. Postma doing the heavy work. Pearce traps it. Ducks a head-high tackle. And is penalised, trying to do too much. Ling going in to lend some support. Pearce will defend Farquhar.
I repeat my earlier comment, not one bit of criticism for David Pearce for trying to do too much, because he's the man that has put Glenorchy in front in this quarter.
Farquhar towards P.Riewoldt, but look at all the black and whites there. Schade, the biggest man, was doing the roving. Collis kept it in front of him. Bowden. This will bounce over Farquhar's head. Here's Postma, good tackle from Farquhar. The bounce beat him, but he got back there and put in the telling tackle. The ball will have to come back.
Brilliant tackle that, Peter, under pressure.
Well, the ball was always going to bounce over his head. That backman's dilemma. He did the right thing. He attacked the ball. He got back there, recovered superbly. Right. Drives for P.Riewoldt. Should have held that one. Curly thumps away. Lewis. Neville will play on. Oh, good tackle, Grace. Play on now as it was knocked free. Clark's handball to Noy. Fends off Ling but loses it. Grace. Nice handball, Dean Coleman. Bowden. Excell shepherds. Bowden centres it. Pearce comes in. Neville over the top. Play on. 50-50 ball. Webster kick off the ground. He runs onto it again. Caught! Oh, what a superb display from Farquhar. Knocks it over the boundary line. 2 of the best tackles you've ever seen. Umpire gets it in very quickly.
Glenorchy pressing for a score. Postma. Pearce tries to belt it on. In defence, Hobart goes for safety. Neville throws his body at the ball. Not paid the mark. Neville and Ling contesting. The markers paid. They didn't hear the whistle. Tim Neville.
And off camera, there's James in trouble, being taken off the ground by the trainer.
Bad sign for Clarence. Back to centre wing. Reiwoldt claims that Price in there working hard. And that is a bad sign at the 19-minute mark. Price on the turf, but Des James off camera leaving the field in trouble. A change for Glenorchy as Mansfield comes back on. There's James coming off. And that is a tragedy for Clarence midway through this term. A tragedy. They are down by 10 points, and one of their experienced players and top performers leaving the field.
And a personal tragedy for Des James, having gone to the club this year from Sandy Bay. Would have loved to have seen all this grand final out. And his team are being pressured. Glenorchy seem to be starting to catch a wave. 10 points they lead by. The rain's getting heavier too. Clark. Adams in best position here, but Dykes kept with him. Kremerskothen did that well, sold the dummy to Suckling, puts it up for Shaw. In comes Adams, he puts Shaw down. Dykes is free to muff it. Coleman has handballed so well today. Linton's kick blindly goes to Collis. He steps out of Noy's tackle to Suckling. Lockley and right to ground. Webster unable to control it. Same with Hibbard. Smith did that well. Mannion caught by Collis. Lockley feeds off to Ling. Ling can go to Curley. Has the bounce instead. The 30-metre handball to Mansfield. Kicks out of bounds on the full and no free kick down ground despite the protestations of Posma.
20 minutes gone. Mansfield not happy. The pressure has been intense. Both teams to be congratulated. Real finals footy stuff. And Farquhar, who's been in the middle of it. None have tackled better than Greg Farquhar. Relieves to half-back. Noy does the leaping. P.Riewoldt, teammate, does the marking. Went to move, or did he? Goes for the kick around towards centre wing. Awkward bounce for Riewoldt, who traps it, then lost it. Belts it along the ground to Coleman, who's been a beauty. Look at him go, the big fellow. Crash! Head. Look at him go. Up to half forward, over the top of Webster. Neville throws his body into it. And marks at half-back. 21 minutes gone, and Glenorchy by 10 points.
Farquhar. To half forward, there's Rogers. Oh, he spilled another mark. They're falling down on half forward. Clarence, P.Riewoldt. Oh, ran back into trouble. And deserves to be penalised. He's got one high. Pearce has got a break. Oh, fine rugby tackle by Noy.
That was a bad mistake on the part of umpire Alan Mustin, because P.Riewoldt got a heavy blow across his face. And he couldn't even go after the football. He's being attended by 3 trainers at the moment. Put the kick with Pearce.
Pearce tackled by Noy, who had to dive desperately at him. The tackle slipped up down around the ankles. Gives Pearce a shot at goal. Goes for his 5th goal and scores his 5th behind. 11 points, the lead for Glenorchy. The largest lead we've seen in the match to date is 13 to Clarence in the first term.
Farquhar. Around towards centre wing. Gary Linton. Magpies steadying. Linton to half forward. A bit of space at the half forward line. Excell, who's done just that. He's excelled this afternoon. Oh, look at Balcom at centre half forward. And perhaps fancies himself from that position a long way out. Balcom, who started on the interchange bench. Wobbly punt kick into the forward pocket. 2 pies spoil themselves. Grace missed it. Oh, bad one. Belted out of the pack to M.Wright, who's in trouble. Loose ball to Excell. Twists, turns, hooks goalwards. C.Reiwoldt.
They're starting to try and use this northern side of the ground now, Clarence. Their attacks have fallen down on the Ryde Street side of late. And that was a good mark from Lewis. Oh, play on. Don't worry about none. He does it eventually. Look how far from goal Adams is out now. Look at all the Magpies there. And it was Balcom who was eventually tackled by Adams, who was the lone Roo in that little exchange. Umpire Whaley saw something funny there. I don't think anyone else enjoyed the joke. Coleman's really taking over on that half back line for Glenorchy. Oh, Here's one for me. Nick Clark putting it out of bounds on the full well and truly. Scott of the Antarctic throws it back down. Certainly, it doesn't feel like one day in September as far as the weather's concerned, but certainly an atmosphere and pressure as Coleman bangs a 70-metre torp right up towards Pearce. Neville crunched. The shirt fronts put him down. Mansfield applied it. The free kick's going to go the way of Clarence.
Well, Mansfield, young in years, but obviously knows what finals are about. Hip and shoulder. There it is. Oh, and Alan Neville, one of Clarence's outstanding players, still in the hands of the trainer.
Back to half-back, Mannion. Couldn't quite get it away. Curley in there with desperation, as is Noy. On the bottom, Mannion. Get it half-forward with almost 25 minutes gone in this term. Magpies leading as P.Riewoldt knocks the ball away. Across to Rogers. Rogers will feed to the running Noy, who is galloping along the half-forward line. Timmy Neville loves to slip of the goals. Is he good enough this time? The half-forward, not a good kick. Coleman can't grab it, goes for safety. He can hold his head high, can the big fellow, Dean Coleman.
Yes, it's been a great effort by Glenorchy, but two players have been outstanding in this quarter, Coleman and Pearce. They've made the difference.
Balcom did that very well. Lewis as the race was run. Moose, the crowd call. So do his teammates inboard. Went straight through Jewel. Very controlled kick there from Collis to lob it over the top for Webster. Lewis presses him down. Neville, who's back on his feet. Lovely pass from Nunn, not picked up by Ling. Caught by Revolt. Mansfield wrestles with Hibbert. Hibbert wins out. Good shepherding from Rogers. Hibbert to the wing, looking for Lewis. Excell battling with him. Fine mark from David Lewis. 15 metres as well as Excell applies the professional foul to hold up the Clarence run. David Lewis has done well since coming on from interchange.
P.Riewoldt leads out, not quite. Off hands, Price is collared. Brendan Smith with a loose one. R.Dykes chases hard and it's wet. Settle down, big Robbie. Let's throw it away. 15-metre penalty against Revolt for hugging.
Looked like he was giving him a nice affectionate little hug there.
Not too much affection, I wouldn't think.
Punches are all right, hugging isn't in Australian football.
Close to three-quarter time, and it's only 11 points the difference in this ball game. Centre wing, good grab. Collis. Never won't let him go. Suckling, slipping past for the handball. Always up and under. Back to Collis. Collis is superbly caught. Top stuff loose. Neville. Tip to Allen. Field burn forward. Bangs one into full forward. Adams. Coleman flies along. Almost had it in between the legs. Almost a ball game there to Spearman, who lost it. 30 metres out from goal. Whistle up. Dean Coleman, an awkward-looking attempt to mark. Almost had it.
And the calmest man out there. And there it is. Look, almost.
Game of billiards there at half forward. Here's a go for Spearman. Out to half back. Grace. And there are 4 Clarence players bearing down on him. That's a pretty courageous mark. 15 metres as well. Grace to the centre. This is Mansfield. They've got the Roos a tiny bit on the hop. The Magpies. 11-point leaders at three-quarter time. The scales in that quarter tipping slightly the way of the Magpies. And David Pearce, who picks the footy up, had a big part to play in that Glenorchy lead at the last break of 85. Oh no, I reckon Gerald. Hey, Gerald, how was it? We heard from the effects some kid talking about, oh, he gave me $1 and then it was as loud as anything. No. Did he? What was that? Launceston lead by 7. Quarter of football for 85 in the Winfield League, and the reigning premiers down by 11 points, and they'd be mindful of the second semi-final when in a similar position. Glenorchy rattled on 4 goals in 6 minutes at the start of the term, and they're into attack. Farquhar knocks it away from Ling. Collis has trouble. In comes Smith. And there'll be a bounce on half forward.
Greg Collis has been an outstanding player in the centre. Glenorchy has given them drive all day.
Postma over the top. Webster. Pearce in front. Couldn't go for the mark. Hibbert lost it. Ling, inspiration needed. He twists, he turns, hooks back into full forward. The big fellow Schade will leap. Not quite. Pearce is tagged off it. And it's thrown through for one flag. Glenorchy score for the first time in the final quarter with just on a minute play. 2 straight kicks separate the teams. A.Neville to half-back looking for Kremerskothen. The thump from Postma. Linton takes the ball, puts one down, puts it to the edge of the square. Schade! One grab but not two. Pearce's snap. Which way will it bounce? It's there! 5 goals, David Pearce. 3 goals the lead for Glenorchy, and what a start to the term. Just what Danny Ling, the mighty midget, asked for. Very strong work from Linton. Schade just prevented from getting that vital touch, and there's the lovely snap from a delighted David Pearce.
And he's the man who's been the difference between the two sides. David Pearce with 5 goals.
Rogers kicks Roos back into attack to half forward. Price almost the grab. Now he's penalised. Belton looking for the 15-metre penalty, which is not there. Just the start that the Magpies needed for this final term. Kick around towards the half-forward line. Kremerskothen, a quiet player, bustled off it. Here come the Pies. Curley sets up Webster. He looks at the goals. Bangs away long. It's curling back. It is not a goal. Great mark by Farquhar in the last line of defence.
And to think this man got only 4 votes in the best and fairest for the William Leach in the TANFL. Superb defender, and he's gained some extra distance after marking on the line. Pass is a good one. Lewis. Well, more than a hint of desperation about the ruse there. Lewis looking to get on very quickly. Dykes knocks to ground. Here's skipper Clark. Some inspiration now for the ruse. Clark runs to half forward, onto Rogers. Rogers shoots. Spearman, what a smother. Balcom, the safety of the boundary line. Todd Spearman gets the applause of the Glenorchy crowd.
That has typified the fighting effort by Glenorchy today. It looked like a Clarence goal, but Spearman said no, threw himself on the boot, smothered the ball.
P.Riewoldt in attack. Clark got a nudge, but no whistle. Postma and Grace. Grace does well to shepherd off Mannion. Postma around towards centre wing. Lockley, gutsy. Centre wing right street side. 3.5 minutes gone, final term. To half forward, running player Webster. He'll continue on and kick long towards Pearce, and Schade, who lumbers out. The big fellow hasn't got it. Here comes Brendan Smith, knocked away from the ball. Play on Phil the call over the top. Neville chases. Collis. P.Riewoldt. Collis keeps it in. Gutsy Hibbert. Close to the line. There's a fight on at centre half back out of camera. There are a few punches being thrown. Thank you very much. Coleman comes in and leaps high. They're still going. And there's you saw it.
And this is the worst possible thing as far as Glenorchy are concerned. They want to keep playing football and ignore anything else. If they don't, they will lose the grand final.
Say no more. Chris Rogers and Gary Litton say it all.
Well, where's the ball?
The ball is out of bounds, but
it's way over here.
Question exactly as to what was going on.
Well, throw in on half forward. I didn't see it get over here. Webster bounces out of one. Puts it up for Pearce. He can handball to Nunn. Should have got rid of it a bit quicker, David Pearce. Nunn almost into the back of Smith.
And one could also suggest that the tackle on David Pearce was rather crude, and perhaps worthy of a free kick.
Bounce, forward pocket. In front of the pack terraces, Schade, straight to Neville. Bowden. Mannion. Rogers. Clarence, can they bounce back? Shaw. Balcom. Very cool. And one of the most consistent players to don a black and white Guernsey this year, number 20, Mark Balcom.
5 minutes gone, final term. Magpies by 18 points. Mannion's kick smothered off the boot. Spearman back ends himself through the pack. Excell, splendid throw. And a 15-metre penalty should be imposed against Suckling, who was quick to put boot to ball. And the ball will be brought back after that fisticuffs, which kept us on our toes. Rogers from centre wing.
Puts it up for Adams. Good mark between Hosmer and Dykes. Adams unable to break free so far in the second half. Now has a big chance. There's a blow to Glenorchy. Collis is off. On comes Mansfield. 2 a personal tally for Adams. It's coming back with the breeze. Not enough or distance, but there's going to be a goal to P.Riewoldt. And he revs up his teammates and came out of that pack somehow with the football. And makes the difference again. 2 goals. Went off the side of the boot from Adams. Big pack of players. And just about play a mark there.
Umpire Mustin coming in to indicate the mark, but that's what grand final football is about, because Reiwoldt put it through the goal and Clarence still right in this game.
2 kicks in it. Ling in the middle. Gets up off the turf to boot the Pies back into attack. Slips one to Dykes, who's going to run into trouble. Kicks to half forward. Interception by Noy, copped from half back to half forward. Robbie Shaw, not quite. Overran by Adams. Off the ground by Dykes. Back towards half forward. Bowden tagged off it. Nunn shows good pace. Bad hand pass. Mannion, Price. Loose on the hop to half forward. Curley, no. Loose ball. Coleman caught. Through it. Play on the call. Kremerskothen hooks a goal and kicks a goal.
Absolute full credit to Clarence. The supporters go mad with hysteria. Sting Kremerskothen, the fresh-faced young lad from Launceston, the opportunist always. Coleman tackled, but look at Kremerskothen. One quick glance over the shoulder, through it goes, and it's Glenorchy by only 1 goal.
What a superbly educated kick. He dropped the ball on the angle and made it hook back in gloriously. And they're steaming forward again, but not for long. Schade. Huge handball. Webster can go again to Mansfield. Onto him comes Smith. Mansfield to Danny Ling. He's only 20 out. 15. Goal! Oh, the whole season has come down to this. And we're going to see a quarter of football as Ling makes the difference. 2 goals again. His first comes up at the 8-minute mark of the last quarter in the grand final of 85.
Well, they call him Cockroach, but he's got a heart as big as an ox, and he's put his side 2 goals in front.
Reiwoldt knocks to half forward. Shaw can't gather. Mansfield over the top. Linton to half forward. Loose ball, it bounces free. Trapped cleverly by Farquhar. Slippery hand pass. Mark Wright across the ground. Kremerskothen the target. Superb pass. Clark running past. Kremerskothen goes solo. Roy the target. Price. Reiwoldt. Not quite. Offhand. Linton. Half back to centre wing. Nunn. Couldn't get it. Coming up to the 10-minute mark of the final term. And Glenorchy lead by 12 points in the grand final.
Probably the calmest men here at North Hobart and the men out there on the ground. They know the job that needs to be done, and their supporters sweating, praying but it's their side that will do it. Two straight kicks in it. Glenorchy have the lead. Reiwoldt down there for Mannion. Bounced nicely as far as the boundary line was concerned. What a handball to Rogers. He tried to crash through Ling, but he applied a good tackle, and Shaw couldn't get away with it either. Mannion, that was a wonderful handball through a forest of black and white to hit an opponent, a teammate rather, on the chest.
Ling setting the example in the thick of things. Kicks a bad one, marked by Wright. Tips across to Lewis. Moose plays on. Kremerskothen is ever dangerous around those goals. Curly on his hammer. The tongue twister's out of strife. Unselfishly passed to Adams. Intercepted by Dykes. A beauty. Belted back to centre wing. Wright too clever and too quick. Hooks in towards full forward. P.Riewoldt from behind. Paid the mark. The big fellow takes the grab. Only 20 metres out from goal. Right, but Coleman saying no thank you. Mark Wright. Long kick to full forward. P.Riewoldt. Good enough.
I think Coleman was saying he'd been interfered with before the ball got down there.
Has two. Still has two. 19-11 points. 11 minutes gone.
Clarence must do something. They've got to move Roland Curley off Kremerskothen. He's too fast for Roland Curley. The youngster's legs, the veteran can't keep up. It's a move that should be made. Curley now back to kick out, and be better off leaving him at fullback.
He's got enough legs left to gain an extra 15 metres, get around the man on the mark, and put the torp to the centre. Webster up high, off the hands of P.Riewoldt in front. Rogers throws himself on it. The ball comes back to him somehow.
Behind play, that move I mentioned has been made, in fact, because Lyndon Lockley, I think, now has been given the job of looking after Kremerskothen.
Grabbed out of the air and thumped forward by Jewell. P.Riewoldt can't control it. Dykes, in fact, has gone into Clarence's attack. Here's a go for Kremerskothen. Chips for Clark. The two Northerners work together. Clark back inboard to Noy. Pressured by Balcombe, snapped by Shaw. Wright runs onto it with Ling. Ling does that brilliantly. One bounce, he's got a mile of green sward in front of him. Two touches to ground, to the centre. Superb delivery to Webster. Away he goes. Up forward he goes for Bodywell. Webster comes in now. Rather Pearce. It's going to bounce for him. Keeps it in front of him. Farquhar right there. And right from full-back to forward pocket without a Clarence player touching it. Superb work from the black and white machine. They lead by 11 points.
12.5 minutes gone, final term. Reiwoldt wins for tap. Excell space. Hooks it goal. It'll bounce. It'll bounce. It'll go through for a big one. Will it? No. Paddled away by the desperado Michael Hibbard. And it's back to 12 points the margin. Anyone's ball game. We're heading for home in the 1985 season, and Glenorchy by 2 goals.
Russell Noy, Bowden under it as well. Webster, caught by Smith. That leaves a man free though, as two of them are on him. Bowden squares it. Pearce, over the top, back to ground. Pearce snaps, it's there! 6 goals, David Pearce! Almost halfway through the last quarter. That could be a vital one. Kim Excell knows it. And Pearce very quick. And Excell.
There have been those people who have said, yes, David Pearce is brilliant, but he doesn't like it hard. Well, today he's been total determination. Only 6 goals. Could well give his side the grand final.
6-5, and here go the Pies again. Webster to half forward. Excell won't fly, off hands. Hibbard tries to trap it, does so, goes for safety. Mick Clark's out there. Come on, skipper, the Roos need a lift now. He can't win it away. Lockley throwing his body in. Out of the pack, the ball is taken and hand pass to Mannion. Mannion slips it across the ground, and away go the Roos to half forward. Curley leading Price in the race for it. Curley's cool. Runs his full measure. Back towards the half-back line. All Roos. And it's P.Riewoldt. Not P.Riewoldt, David Lewis. That centre wing out of side, almost halfway through the final term. And Glenorchy lead by 18 points.
That comes P.Riewoldt, Coleman right on him. Noy. Linton, jump ball. 3 goals. A huge task for Clarence in this match where scoring has not been easy. 3 goals Glenorchy have kicked this term to Clarence's 2. And a free kick to them there. Mannion. What can the former North Launceston player do here? He knows the importance of this kick. If he can put it through, they're still in with a big chance. He won't, but someone else might. Oh, Adams! Play on's the call. There was another Clarence player in on that, and Balcom tapping cleverly to Bowden, who finds touch.
Yeah, some good umpiring there. It was P.Riewoldt who had first grab, and then Scott Adams ended up with the ball second time round.
There you'll see it. Riewoldt coming in. Umpire called play on.
Lost the front spot, couldn't grab it. Out of the pack to Neville, who's been quiet, ridden into the turf. Robbie Shaw, splendid to Rogers, kicks long and accurately, goal! He's second. The Roos are down but not out. 16 minutes gone. He mightn't look too happy. There's still 2 goals down. Robbie Shaw instrumental in that bullet-like hand pass. Rogers on the end of it. Back to 12 points.
Whatever you do, don't write Clarence off, because until that final siren goes, they're there and they want back-to-back premierships.
And the crowd, the Clarence support really right behind them. Dykes. Excell will go off the ground. Mark Wright keeps it in front of him. Brilliant work, Mark Wright. Can he have some support? He's done it all. Gets tackled high and gets a free kick. Well deserved.
Applause from the crowd tell the story then. Determined football, Mark Wright.
Farquhar making position over the top to Kremerskothen. Noy's on his own on the wing. They've got the loose man going now. Reiwoldt's on his own. Noy will run it. Go long towards P.Riewoldt. He's in front of Coleman. Knocked away by Dykes. Good defence. Rogers again. Oh, well smothered Roland Curley. See the worry there with Chris Rogers. His team down by 2 goals.
Reiwoldts from behind. Rogers doing the chasing. Price hooks at goal. Coming out Spearman. Rough and tough is Todd Spearman, but effective. 17.5 minutes have gone. Glenorchy by 2 goals. Reiwoldt not quite. Webster got rid of it quickly. Winton trying to go through but couldn't. And at centre half forward for Roos, Tim Whaley. Reiwoldt wins the tap, no one there to accept it. Mannion got it out of the pack. Timmy Neville not favoured by the bounce. Looking for Price, Grace leads. Oh, he's hit high. Noy caught, dumped. Bounce down. Clarence pressing hard, down by just 2 kicks. 18 minutes gone, final term.
Bounce about 40 metres out from Clarence's goal. Reiwoldt's big tap to his brother Peter. Couldn't get the snap around enough. Coleman shepherds off for Linton, but Reiwoldt harried. Oh, good support. Spearman running through nicely. Away they go. It's too long for Grace. Right. Up to the pocket. P.Riewoldt or Adams. Reiwoldt got hands to it. Knocked down by Curley. Must be a free kick in there to Coleman, I feel. By Whaley right on the spot. Just picked it out and given it to D. Coleman. Second half has been superb from the big fellow.
Kicks around towards half back. Goal from behind. Goal players missing the flight of the ball. Lockley didn't. And he gets to his feet as we tick to the 19-minute mark of this term. To half forward, Webster has the sit. Has the mark. Wants to play on, will play on. Runs to half forward. Kicks long to full forward. Pearce out in front. Big grab, David Pearce.
Oh, and he was given one to go on with by A.Neville. That was late. And David Pearce is not putting it on, I can assure you. It was a grand final tactic. If you can't take the mark and stop him, stop him having the kick.
He's had about a metre. There's the mark, and there's the headache.
There's the one after he'd taken the mark.
These days, though, it doesn't matter who takes the kick, but Pearce is fit enough to do it.
Has 6. Pearce has 7.
And I can only repeat what I said earlier. The absolute brilliance of David Pearce again. 7 goals. And the Glenorchy supporters go mad with ecstasy as they sense that the 1985 flag is theirs.
Looks okay. P.Riewoldt wins the tap. Hasn't given up all day. Litton's roved his tap, though. That's touched off the boot by Kremerskothen. Excell, very quick feet. Bowden running onto it with Jewell. Into support was Bonniwell. Here's Neville. Posmer in front. Behind Kremerskothen. Suckling holds off Mannion. Off the hands of Spearman. Suckling. Mark Wright and Linton. Wright peeks it in front of him again. Very well. And Linton. A very tired boy on the bottom of the pack there. And they're not in a hurry to get that ball out. He or Michael Nunn.
Time ticking away. 21 precious moments have gone. Lockley. Oh, brilliant smother, Nick Clark. Goes through hard. Spearman gets in his way. Clark hammered. What courage he showed, and Spearman put his body in the way. Clark talking with the umpire.
Two former North Launceston players clashing there.
No love lost between them on that exchange. Robbie Shaw lifting hard, kicks to half forward, loose ball. P.Riewoldt, it bounces free. M.Neville rolling Curly. Coleman fumbles, Neville dives on it, wants the free kick, won't be paid one. Important for Clarence now, only 20 metres out from their goal. 21 and a half minutes have gone. Glenorchy leading the ball game by 3 goals.
Clarence must score a goal now, right now.
P.Riewoldt out of the air. Oh, volley almost successful there for sure. Smothered by Adams, but Glenorchy clear. Grace doesn't beat Lewis. Clark's there with Mannion. 2 Northerners again. Lovely handball across there to Noy. Got it to Lewis, who's pulled out the ball. And that trickle near the exits of Clarence supporters is starting to develop into a bit of a stream. Ye of little faith, I'd say. There's only 22 minutes gone.
Curly defends. There's nothing this Clarence side lack as far as desperation goes. Plenty of time left. It's on their forward line. Posmer's a Legbury player. He's got 39 friends out there. And it's centre half forward, a lull in proceedings. Can Glenorchy, the bridesmaid for so many years, crack the big one this afternoon? Suckling falls to the turf.
And all of a sudden, I think there's a feeling around the ground that Glenorchy have got it. Not to say Clarence couldn't get up, and I think Glenorchy are in a position that they'll withstand any challenge.
3 goals the difference. Excell's in there, yes. The numbers, look, the numbers are there with the Magpies as Excell gets it over to Mansfield. Fine mark, he's tripped. A good leg there from Hibbert to stop Mansfield from getting away. High kick. Grace from behind. Play on. Kremerskothen's had a fine last term, really trying to spark them into flame, and he's done that. He's got it across to Adams. Adams up for P.Riewoldt. Directly in front. That's the distance. No worry. Breeze going from right to left. Too much. That might be it, I feel.
It could be the end of the ball game. I think the flag for 85 will be hanging in the rooms out at King George V.
1 minute away from time on. Roland Curly to deliver. Will wobble back towards half-back. The breeze still fickle. Noy shoots from the angle. M.Neville in the square from behind. Gets the mark. Excellent grab by M.Neville. And He'll shoot for goal, only 20 metres out on the angle. A must for the Roos. Concentration. He stabbed at it. It's okay. Still life in the Roos. A.Neville kicks the goal. And we're 30 seconds away from time on. And the margin is just 11 points.
It's 2 goals needed in time on, and that's not an impossible task by any means. The time is there. Whether Glenorchy will let Clarence get up and do it, or whether they'll be able to stop them. A good mark taken by A.Neville. He finished off with a goal to reduce the deficit to 11 points.
Costner wins the tap. Coming through is Hibbert. It's back to him now, ricocheting off the chest of Noy. Hibbert up to half forward. Excell doesn't claim it. Dykes suckling now. Oh, good tackle applied there by Adams. He's got another chance. But again was tackled, I think, around the ankle. Not spotted by Fire Whaley.
No, it was obvious to us. It wasn't obvious to Tim Whaley because there were about 5 players between he and the incident.
P.Riewoldt goes the big belt away. Curley leads in the race for the ball. Caught well. Forced to kick hurriedly. Clark and Price crash into one another. Oh, no!
Oh.
2 Roos, both with the same thought in mind. Poor Nick Clark getting up and Michael Price getting to his feet.
Yeah.
They both had the one aim in mind. Watch them. Bang! Shaw chasing. Falcom on the deck. 26 minutes have gone in the final quarter. The Magpies with their beaks heading in front. They lead by just 11 points.
There'll be a bit of time on. We've had 8 goals in the quarter, the most for the match. Excell's caught. P.Riewoldt. David Lewis! No. 10 points the difference.
How can you have anything but admiration for Clarence? They've looked beaten 3 or 4 times.
That's right, you'd never write the Roos off. No way.
Coleman bears his molars to the breeze and heads down the half-back line. Fancy, kick the ball, gone! Put it across to none. Close to the line. P.Riewoldt doing the bustling.
I think Dean Coleman thought he was Ray Gavelin.
He hit it for home. He was a bit fancy. 27 minutes gone.
A little bit of inexperience there by Michael Nunn. He should have trundled that ball over the boundary line.
Oh,
that's what Robert Costner did.
Costner, what a manful job he's done all season against great odds before Stephen Schade arrived.
Very underrated football, Robert Costner, and if Glenorchy win this final, he's done his share all season to get them there.
Shaw thumps it forward. Linton to Excell. He goes for the Road Street wing. Lockley racing with Wright. Lockley wins to Excell, who kept moving. Pearce is in front of Farquhar, runs along the turf. Hibbert. Now Mansfield. Over it goes. On the full they cry. On the full signals the boundary umpire.
27 and a half minutes gone. 10 points the margin. Glenorchy lead. The ball now at centre wing. Suckling falling over. Price getting to his feet. Danny Ling pretty tired. Perhaps he's only 3 minutes away from ecstasy, if that. Little Danny Dingerling. What a fine performance this afternoon. Lockley falls over. Gets up and fists it across to half forward. Hibbert leads in the race for the ball. Keeps it in play to half forward. Marked by Mannion. 28 minutes gone.
Speed is the essence right now. Up towards Adams, over top came Noy. Adams pushed a little shove and he's ended up with the mark. Kick it. No. He thinks he can kick the goal. The big torpedo punt. He's going to go close. He's booted it. Unbelievable, Scott Adams. 3 goals, 4 points the difference.
And the fate of the 85 flag hangs in the balance. Either side can be premiers now. It's just the side that has the courage and determination with a booming kick from Scott Adams. This is what the whole season has been about. Whichever side can drag into its reserves and go on and take out the flag.
P.Riewoldt wins the tap, through to half forward, pushing them back, Rogers. Kangaroos coming home hard. Rogers half forward. 29 and a half minutes gone. Kremerskothen kicks a long shot at goal off line. Full forward. Adams in the middle of the pack. And it's touched off the hands for a throw in. But
That was ever so close. P.Riewoldt to a grab.
There it is, the siren's gone! Danny Ling, number 12. A premiership as coach in his first season. 4-point winners are the Magpies. They've played in 9 grand finals over the last 10 years. 10 with today, and they've won 3 flags. And no one deserves it more than Danny Ling or that man, R.Dykes. Superb performance. The final scores, Glenorchy 10-15-75, a gallant Clarence 10-11-71.
Doing.
Brilliant stuff, Alfred. Brilliant stuff. Who are they talking to? More gold than the Ballarat goldfield.
Drug, and one of its most important uses has been in helping to prevent heart trouble. Now, leading heart experts say they've found a drug that's even better. As Cheryl Taylor reports, Australian patients are part of international trials.
Heart attack is a major killer in Australia, and stroke is our leading cause of disability. Both are usually caused by blood clots. This new drug clopidogrel is designed to prevent blood clots. In one of the world's biggest medical trials, it was compared to another drug commonly used for the same purpose, aspirin.
Here's a drug that is more effective than aspirin, which is the gold standard, and it's at least as safe and probably safer.
Patients with a high risk of blood clots were given either a single daily aspirin or a daily